So in this video, my next project is turning this old sewing machine into a vanity. My customer said they live in a farmhouse and don't have a lot of storage. She was gifted this old sewing machine and she wants to turn it into a vanity. And I straight asked her, I was like, I mean, are you sure? Because these things could be worth some money. I don't know much about them, but I mean, it still works. So I found that interesting, but she wants to turn it into a vanity, so that's what we're gonna do. Y'all stick around.
I started by disassembling the sewing machine and removing the actual machine itself so that I could start with a good blank surface and get to what I needed. I removed this front little stand pieces. This is actually the stand for the sewing machine. I removed it, I created a line, just traced a line for what needs to be cut out, and took it over to my bandsaw and cut it out. I ended up leaving the hinges on as for the look, because the way this way flipped up. I leave the hinges on for that still kind of antique functional look, but glued this piece down. And I also went through, because I left it just a little long, I went through with a trim bit on my router, flush trim bit, and I went around the whole top, and so it was good and smooth. While I was waiting for that glue to dry, I went through and started making the components to make the little compartment, which was going to replace the area that the sewing machine was in. So basically, I was making a drawer, but instead of it sliding, I was going to screw it to the top of the sewing machine itself. Now, I changed the settings on this table saw quite a few times during this process, but I got what I needed, and that's all that really matters. I was real careful to make sure I got the glue just in the areas I needed the glue. That's why I use this little bitty paintbrush. It's actually like a craft paintbrush for like little kids. You can pick them up at Walmart, but I went through and used it for glue on real tight spaces. Now I only wanted it, like I said, in just a small certain area. So that's how I accomplished that. I removed the hinges in certain places, and I needed something to kind of fill in that little spot again. These were inset hinges, so I needed something to fill that little spot. So I took part of the top that I cut off, and using a 1/4 inch blade in my bandsaw, I cut out little circles and then cut them. As you can see here, I cut them to the depth that I needed, glued, and they set in place very, very nicely. So I did use a pin nailer to nail them down, as I couldn't really get a clamp there that was deep enough to get there. So that worked out very well. Now here I am, you can see with the flush trim bit in my router going across after all that glue dried, going across and cleaning up that whole top edge. Once the top edge was clean, I had took the lid off earlier, and I had bought this new magnetic camera holder, and I was giving it a try. I was knocking these, using a chisel on them out to knock little indentions in, knock these little pieces out, so for the hinges to go on as it was going to hang from the back. And as you can tell, I'm a little shaky with this thing. See, I need more practice with it. But this is how I knocked them out. I took a chisel after I knocked the indentions in and just removed it ever so easily with a chisel. It basically cut it right out. Once those pieces were cut out and checked with the hinges themselves, it was time to put them on. I just drove them in with my drill with the screws. I didn't pre-drill holes or anything, and they went down pretty well. I just had to, when I was starting it, and you can see I tapped the head of the screw with the bottom of my drill. That kind of helps it get started a little bit, and it makes it a little easier instead of it trying to walk. See right there, I just did it. So that makes it a lot easier to get started. Once I put the lid on, I removed the whole sewing machine from the base, and it was time to put the compartment onto the stand itself. I done this with glue and some pocket screws that I drilled the holes before I assembled the compartment. I'm sure you've seen the holes earlier, but that's all I done with the glue and screws, and I let that glue dry, and then it was time to put the whole machine top back on the base. And here, once again, I'm using that magnetic camera holder, and you can see it's a little blurry with my hands kind of in the way it wants to focus a little different. So, this is something I'm going to have to get used to, but I think it adds a more of a better look of my point of view on how things are done. So I hope this helps, and I hope it helps y'all enjoy the videos more.
Alright, so now we got the sewing machine assembly without the sewing machine on the frame. The drawers, my customer had me take out the old wooden knobs. They were wooden, some of them's cracked, some of them broke. The ones that were still intact were really nice actually. But what we're doing is these little glass knobs. This is what she wants. And it kind of reminds me of like Titanic era type. If you pay attention to that movie on their doorknobs, that's what they had. So, at least I'm pretty sure. But anyways, so we're gonna put these on. I had to cut the screws. This come with one screw, and it was way too long. So I had to cut them. And now all we're gonna do is just simple. If you change the doorknob before, or you changed like knobs on your cabinets or anything, it's the same thing. You run it in, tighten it with the screwdriver. That's what you got. So now I'm gonna do 5 more. We'll do 5 more, and then we'll do a big reveal on it. I ain't gonna take time to show you how I just slide the drawer in. It's kind of pointless if you ask me, but we'll do a big discussion over it. So, and here's the final the sewing machine. I've got a little bit of cleaning up to do on it, but that's no big deal. Took the sewing machine out, moved the lid from flipping to the side to flipping back. My customer said something about maybe she's gonna put a mirror right here. She wants this whole thing. Lives in a farmhouse, like I said earlier. Don't have a lot of room. This is antique. It goes with the vibe, the look of the farmhouse. So she's wanting to use it as a makeup vanity. She's got all these drawers to put stuff in. She's got this little compartment here in the middle to put her stuff in, with some like shelving, I guess you say, on the side. the whole base, the cast iron base, we did nothing to it. I cleaned it up, and that's about it. And it really cleaned it up, but it don't look much cleaned up, really, to be honest with you. But it still gives that antique look to it. And it's still functional. Like, I'll be honest with you, I've been sitting here with this foot pedal and just playing with it. I'm not by no means got the rhythm, you know, to operate this sewing machine. But at the same time, I gotta say that the women of the time, you know, and I can't just say women, the people of the time, they must have had some really strong legs, because, yeah, I get tired over just a little bit of playing around on it, let alone probably sewing on it, you know, however long they sewed on it. But yeah, this one more out the door. I'm just curious what this is worth as a restored sewing machine, you know, before we done anything to it. So if y'all got any idea, it's a Singer, Singer. I don't know model number or anything. I don't even know if they've done model numbers like this back when this was made. But yeah, if y'all got any idea, put that in the comments. You know, that's interesting. Oh, one more thing I forgot to say. So this, what it was, it opened up, and then this little arm right here opened up, and the sewing machine rolled out. So this arm right here, it acted as a stand after the sewing machine got up. You flip it back down, and the sewing machine rested on it. I glued it down, left the hinges for that look, glued it down, and then took a router and a flush trim bit and went around and cleaned all that up. So now it's still got the look, but without the intended purpose for it. So I think it's pretty cool. So if y'all like this video, you want to see more, go ahead, you know, like, share, comment if you got any questions. You know, if you know anything I could have done better, because there's always room for improvement, put that in the comments. We can learn together and improve together. That's my whole point. I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing this for everybody. So every woodworker around. So if you got any questions, comments, like I said, put them down in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead, you know, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, you know, if you want to see more. If you don't, that's cool too. But, you know, it helps me out if you do. So, y'all have a good one. God bless.